Welcome, dear friends, to the Taviren, a Wheel of Time podcast hosted by three gentlemen for whom the very wheel itself bends around. Without further ado, here are your hosts, Bill, Rob, and Rich.
And welcome to the Taviren, a Wheel of Time podcast. This is episode 5, chapter 4, The Gleeman. My name is Rob.
And I am Rich.
Rich is back again. Unfortunately, we could not get Bill. He, like I said, he had some sort of work to do. I don't know. I normally don't believe him.
Full of lies.
Lies, he tells.
Yep.
So welcome back to the podcast of where apparently all Americans are named Rich.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all the time.
Yeah, as bad as I felt by calling you Bill, the actual Bill called me Rich 4 times the last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah, if you guys do a podcast for so long, he just assumes everybody's named Rich.
Yep. And we're going to be doing another one tomorrow morning, so.
So, once again, it's just me and Rich today. Hopefully we can get all three of us for the next chapter, because,
hopefully.
Yep, that's when all the action starts.
The action.
Also, I have a request of you, Rich.
Okay.
No pop quiz questions like you did on me last time.
Okay.
Because I gave you the absolute wrong answer.
Oh.
And Bill gave me what for. So.
Bill can just shut it. We just make our own stuff up here.
And to make things even worse, I had another error when on the last episode. I told Bill that it was Perrin who brought up the Children of Light. It was actually Matt. So womp womp for me again. So.
Oops.
So one thing we wanted to talk about real quick, all the different counters and things that the three of us are going to be keeping track of, keeping a running tally of throughout the history of this series. Just to give you a sort of rundown where we are, we're keeping track of the amount of times a woman will angrily cross her arms under her breasts. I believe we're up to 1 right now with Egwene. We're also keeping track of how many times the phrase of ignoring the weather is being used. And actually, Rich, I wanted to get your ruling on something, because I said yes, but then Bill thought no. In the first chapter, when Tam and Rand are walking down the country road, Rand comments that Tam's cloak was flapping in the breeze, and Tam was unaware of it. And I think he used the term unaware of the cloak flapping in the breeze. And I thought that would have been considered an ignoring of the weather. Bill didn't think so, so I'm looking to you to break this tie.
All right. I mean, yeah, technically he is ignoring the weather because wind does make the cloak move. In order to have some wind, you got to have weather. No matter what it is, you're outside, it's called weather.
All right, so that's it. 2-1. Bill, sorry.
Yeah.
You're out of here.
Sorry. You know what we should add on these trackers here? Because you're probably going to ask me what, I think we should track on those. Can we just add like a bet on like what they do? Like how many times they cross? Like you would say a certain amount. I
final
would say,
tally?
Yeah. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, it would be kind of fun. We can do it at the end of each book, and then at the end of the series, if and when we ever get to that point. But absolutely, we can try and get a running bet. Maybe the next time or the first time we get all three of us on, we can kind of add a segment where we kind of do an over/under on what we think the final tallies are going to be.
I'm good with that.
So yeah, we have to also keeping track of how many times Jordan uses has a woman smoothing her dress, kind of a way that she's trying to calm herself. Apparently, the men just make these women crazy, so they have to find ways to kind of decompress. Bill had an idea to add the pulling of the braid, but I think that was only a 90 that does that. But we'll keep track of that. See if any other women in this series pull their braids.
I think it comes up quite a bit
by other female characters.
I think so.
Okay. God knows I've been wrong before, so maybe I'm wrong again. I also have on here in the last episode we had our first. I have it called "Wishing That They Were Players," but Bill and I both agreed that we love the way that Jordan has each of the three boys secretly wish they were as good at women as the other two. Have you
Okay.
seen that in your reading so far?
Yeah, but that kind of plays out though. Eventually, though
It does.
they stop even worrying about that.
It does, but it's funny that it's a complete circle where
Yeah,
each one secretly wishes they were better as the other two.
agreed.
Eh. I am also keeping track of the errant name calling between the three of us. Uh, Rich, you are working a perfect game so far. You have not messed up any names. I
Because
have the.
I'm good.
You are way better than me, and decades better than Bill. Bill has 4. I have 1. Rich, you're at a goose egg. Good job, buddy.
Bill tends to do that a lot, no matter what show he's on.
He's
So
like he's
I
like
think
my
we're
old
good.
grandmother. He'll just throw out any name and hope that one sticks.
Yep, pretty much.
And then I just added one. Haven't talked to Bill yet, but I'm going to add this one. The amount of times Rand is called a sheep herder or a cow herder, because we know a few characters like to poke jabs at him to remind him of his roots. And I'm at one chapter now where every other quote I'm ticking off a sheep herder comment. So that's something I figured I'd throw in there too. The amount of times that he's called a sheep herder.
Okay.
So, and you want us to try and do over unders on what we believe the final tallies are going to be. So I'll make a notation of
Correct.
that as well.
And I have one more for us.
Go
I just
for it. What
thought
do you
about
got?
it. I think we should track how many times Perrin does something stupid.
Oh, that's
Because let's be honest, he has moments,
he does.
like several.
He does. He acts on emotion. He tries not to, but he will act on emotion from time to time.
Yep.
So, Perrin does something stupid. Okay, I will add that to the list going forward.
Sweet.
So, we also wanted to just send out our overall thanks and gratitude to the entire Wheel of Time community. It's been a great first month run for our podcast as far as uh, listeners and comments and love and support we're getting. Just as always, rate and review the podcast. Throw us out some love. We'll take any kind of criticism, positive or negative. But, thanks a lot, guys. We're really just taken back by how awesome this community is and how opening of arms you guys were for us right from start.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised when you told me the numbers on that. I was not expecting it to hit that quickly. As most of you guys know, that me and Bill do run another podcast. That took us a little bit to get those kind of numbers right off the bat, especially for a book series. It's been out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that the world is getting to the point now where they're looking for the next kind of series and things like that. So I feel maybe we're going to be hitting this at the right time for a lot of people to join us on this adventure of all 14 books.
14 books if we do, 15 if we do the prequel.
Yeah. Okay, that's a lot. So, yeah, I will be 80.
Oh, God, if you're 80, I don't even want to figure out what I am.
By the time we're done with this thing, I don't know.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I was, what was going to come first? You complete the role-playing game list, or we complete this journey?
I'm going to say we're going to beat this one first.
I think so, too.
Because most of y'all probably know, like, we've had to make some changes on that show. But it's fine. It's okay.
I think
there's only so much.
Were warranted, and it was a good move by you guys to go that direction.
Yeah, and then also to everybody out there who really likes, what we're doing, if you could please not recommend any more suggestions for Bill on podcasts, that'd be fantastic. Because I don't think I can handle another one. Like, maybe. We'll see. But whoever gives him ideas about stuff, stop it.
Yes, he just runs with everything. Then it's shoot, then ask questions. That's how he operates.
And most people forget I'm the one that gets dragged along with him. Like, he's like, hey, by the way, we're doing this. Oh, okay.
From six time zones away.
Yeah, it happens.
I know, and I'm guilty of that. He briefly mentioned. Oh, I know. I'm having a blast. I know you guys are too, but I am part of the problem. Guilty as charged.
Somebody, I think, our Discord channel mentioned Bill to do a podcast about the Saga series,
Oh God!
I want to find that person and punch him in the mouth.
Just so he can
'Cause I was
play
like,
his
God,
What's
no.
the Saga
Yeah.
chop.
Yeah.
Oh
No.
my gosh!
Don't do it.
Well,
It's just
okay.
insane.
Hopefully, when we get the three of us together for a chapter at the same time, I don't feel like Jerry Springer trying to keep the two of you away from each other.
No. I love that guy. He just has so many ideas.
Too many,
It's
but
what
no,
we call Bill enthusiasm. I think that's how we coined that. So yeah.
that is a real tangible thing. Yes.
So let's kind of jump to the next thing. As of now, we don't have any reviews to go over, like you said.
No new reviews, correct? Yes, but still,
we need to move on to the news then.
Yes. Well, Wheel of Time news. Breaking news. There's not really much news.
Nope.
From what I've been hearing, from other news sites, the showrunners for the Amazon show and the casting agents are kind of keeping things under wraps for right now.
Yeah.
So basically, what that done has spun the social media crazy with dream casting the roles of the people, of all the different
I'm glad
characters.
they're making the show. I really am. It might be a chance for me because I'm gonna throw it out there. It's probably like a huge freaking sin. I have yet to watch Game of Thrones, and apparently that's like bad. So if this comes out, I could start it with everybody else and not feel so freaking lost. So we won't talk about Game of Thrones, but I hear it's kind of a shit show.
Oh, the last season that from what I heard is HBO approached the producers and directors and said, "Hey, let's take two maybe 3 seasons to wrap everything up." And the directors and producers said, "No, we want to do it in 1 season, and we want to get this thing, tie a bow on it, and be done." So basically, 3 seasons worth of character arc development has been shoved into 6 episodes, and it's.
I'm gonna say it. That's a terrible idea.
It's
the worst thing ever.
No one at Amazon would ever think to do that with the Wheel of Time.
Amazon doesn't. Amazon's got that, almost that Disney money.
Oh,
they can just do whatever they want and let it spread out. Because I did see that somebody started a petition. I saw that today. It's already got 500,000 signatures on it from what I saw to redo season 8 of Game of Thrones. Holy crap!
You could get 500 million signers. You're not putting that genie back in the bottle.
No. Here's what's going to happen. Game of Thrones is going to stop. It's going to be done here soon. I bet you what's going to happen. They're going to go back. Once it's done, HBO is going to lose all of their subscription base when it's done.
Well, they have confirmed and are starting to fill. Yes, welcome to a Game of Thrones podcast. Sorry, but let me get this point out.
It's a book series. I mean, it's the same thing. This is what's going to happen to the Wheel of Time series.
But for Game of Thrones, they've already started shooting. They're doing not per se a prequel, but all of the historical stories that they talk about in Game of Thrones, the histories that led up to the season that actually aired. They're filming short story episodes of the history of Westeros.
Who the hell wants that?
People that thinks this season is ending too quickly and wants more to chew on.
You think maybe they did it on purpose?
Maybe they did, but we'll see how that pans out. But in the meantime, I got to ask you, Rich, back to the Amazon Prime and Wheel of Time show there.
Okay.
Now, I don't have a good answer to this myself, but I am going to put you on the spot. Do you have any dream castings for the show? Any actor or actress at any point in their career at any time frame do you think would fit a character that you've seen in this book series?
All right, I've got a couple here right off the bat.
Okay.
So, Rand.
Mm-hmm. Heard the name.
I could almost see Tom Holland. He's done such a great job with Spider-Man and everything. I think he'd be good in that.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, Matt. It's really hard to tell with these younger characters.
Well,
only because
but once again, we'll need
to
preface. Rich only has read up until the 3rd book.
Correct.
So I'm going to say this. Matt is probably the hardest to cast because his
Yeah.
arc. I'm going to see. I can say this. His arc is the
It gets
most
weird.
arcing. Let's put it that way. His arc's the most, as in from where he starts to where he goes to where he ends. I
Yep.
mean, Rand is the main character, and obviously he drives the whole story. But
And that's why I think Tom Holland's going to be fantastic for that.
I think that's a good choice. I think that would be great.
Okay. The next person I would do would be Rand's dad, Tam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking Gerard Butler.
Okay, you know where I actually did think of a good Tam. I was thinking like the Braveheart version of Mel Gibson as Tam.
Mel Gibson?
During when he filmed Braveheart.
Oh, okay. I get what you're doing. Okay, you're thinking like past people. I'm thinking like current.
I gave you the option to anybody, anytime, any place.
Okay, well, no, I can't think like that. I gotta do like multiple. This is gonna happen. These are the people I would want.
Oh yeah, no, but I love you. I love who you guys, Tom Holland and Gerard Butler. That's great. But I was just thinking as well. But if you think back at William Wallace from Braveheart, he was loving and caring, but he was no nonsense. You didn't mess with him. Once he was set on it, you didn't touch it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how Tam was no nonsense. He was caring and loving father, but he was no nonsense when it had to be.
Yeah, and that's why I think Gerard Butler would be good with that. The next one I got, this may be a stretch, but I think it'd be pretty good. We're going to talk about it today. But Tom Drill Maryland, who we'll discuss who that is, RDJ.
Oh, pretty good.
I think that would be good. Only because he's older. He's got that, in the three books that I've read, he's got that figure, that adult father figure, to the boys. He does have a little bit of a flair to him per se, and that would honestly, to me, fit that very well. Now again, with the other 14 books, the other 11 books that I haven't read yet, that could change. But as of now, I would probably say that would be pretty good to have that.
I'm impressed. I like where you're headed with this. Amazon should probably give you a call and get you in the casting payroll.
Yeah, but here's the thing: would RDJ do it? No, I don't think. He's probably got enough money to survive forever.
Oh,
I mean, he's good.
You're finding a lot of these big A-list stars,
and that's the thing.
Doing this, the subscription based stuff. You got Bird Box, Sandra Bullock. You've seen Will Smith, Ben Affleck. They're all doing these Netflix and other. I think Julia Roberts was on an Amazon show as well.
Exactly. So they're getting these high profile actors and actresses. So why not? Now,
exactly.
It would be a risk to do it, obviously, and it's a 14-book series. So, would they really sign on to all that? I don't think so. RDJ just did, and please, if people don't know who RDJ is, I'm sorry for you. Robert Downey Jr. He did sign on for 11 years of the Marvel Studios.
He crushed it.
Yeah, why not have him do this as well, be the spearhead of that? He could play those characters, I think, just fine. We've seen the range he has. Why not now take what he's done, change it to this, and really make it and do that? But would he do that? I don't know. And here's my last recommendation, because I can't really think of anything on the other characters. But you've got Lan. Who do you think I'm going to pick?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, I've seen visuals of Lan in one way. I've seen other envisionings of Lan in a whole other way. I've already decided on which voice I'm going to use for him when we get to readings, when I get to do his voice in readings with Rob. So he's actually one I'm most nervous about. All
right. So,
but go ahead. Give me your Lan.
Right. When I think of Lan, I've read, who he is and things he's done. He's very prowess. He's very, full of honor, stands there, stands up and fights. Who in your mind do you think has portrayed that very well lately.
I mean, are we staying within the MCU?
Hell yeah, I'm gonna stay with that.
Are we thinking?
Shit, they got nothing else to do.
Are we thinking Thor, son of Odin?
Nope.
Ah, hit me with it.
Chris Evans.
Oh, yeah. You know,
he would be good. I think he would be fantastic at that. Only because Land's got that, strong ability to lead, to do the right thing, do what's necessary, be the protector, and stuff like that. I think he'd do very well with that. Now, again, he's probably not doing anything.
Well, and it's killing me because I keep, every time I try to start to talk, I say, "Whoop, can't say that. Whoop, can't say that." That is actually top notch, and I'm envisioning, because I know of Land's whole arc, and there's certain parts of his arc I don't even think you've touched on yet.
No.
But yes, definitely Chris Evans as Alan Mandragora.
That's another thing too. With RDJ and Chris Evans, they've played these more modern characters.
Mm-hmm.
He did a really good job in Snowpiercer. Chris Evans. I don't know if you've seen that movie. It's on Netflix.
I have not.
It's fantastic. I really like that. It's more of a post-apocalyptic kind of setting. But if you go back to these more medieval-esque kind of settings, they've never done that. It'd be a challenge for them, but I think they could do that. Well, it's going to be some stretches, obviously, for those.
Well, Robert Downey, I mean, he did the Sherlock Holmes movies, so not medieval per se, but he has the chops to play.
Oh, yeah, he could do it.
Oh, yeah, he can. Yeah, he could do it. But it's just hard to think of an older, more grizzled Robert Downey Jr. playing the sprightly Tom Maryland. But
he could. I mean, hell, he did a good job as Chaplin.
That's true. Good.
He's
very
getting
good point.
up there in age, so hell, if you happen to listen to us, Robert Downey Jr., take my advice and do it.
And rate and review the podcast, because that'd
be great.
Awesome.
And I don't think you would be disappointed. And hell, you're not doing anything, and you've got money to, just become that forefront. Be that again, Godfather of the Wheel of Time series.
I love that you're basing these based off the 2+ books you've read, and I'm now also thinking through Tom Maryland's complete arc, and I'm like, oh my god, that is a perfect casting with what I know of his complete arc. I'm like, oh my god, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Damn
and there's a lot of others. Yeah, I know, now you want it. But there's a lot of those other characters, Egwene, Moraine, all them. Like, I can't see who would play those very well as of yet, but I'm sure we'll discuss it and maybe they'll pop in. But it's probably time to start pulling out some new, fresh blood for some of these actors and actresses.
All these main characters are like Tom Holland. They're as Bill pointed out, Rand is 19 in the beginning at the Eye of the World timeline.
He's 19?
Yes.
I thought it was like 15 or 16.
Yeah, well, yeah. I thought 16 to 18, and once again, I can't spoil it for you, but there is a way to kind of backtrack to get into 19, and we need to bring in new blood to this to the genre.
Yeah,
and
but to make it good, you need to get. I want to say very powerhouse actors and actresses to do this, and then bring in the rest of them as more of a chance kind of casting. Unless you want to go the MCU route and just take a wild friggin' chance on Robert Downey Jr. on Iron Man, 11 years ago, and that turned out to be the best decision ever made.
I know.
But there's a lot of things that they could do with this series, with the casting. But those are my picks. Tom Holland, that would be probably good as Rand. I think he has the ability to do that and probably the range. If he's looking for more of a series to spearhead and do things like that, that'd be great. He's starting to come in on his own with Spider-Man. We don't know what's going to happen with that anyways. So, who knows?
Exactly.
After Endgame and this next Spider-Man movie, it may start to go downhill. We don't know. But anyways, that's my casting picks.
A
Sorry,
plus.
I
give you
really
A
like.
plus.
Thanks. I really blow MCU. I love it. I love what they've done. Endgame is still like hurting me in the feels. But anyways, that's what my thoughts are. That'd be my dream cast.
I'm taking my wife and younger son for their first time to see it Sunday.
Oh my
My
God.
wife loves Thor, and I can't wait to see her reaction at the end. No spoilers, but I can't wait to see her reaction at the end game Thor. That's going to just be priceless.
My wife kind of thought that was funny too. She's like, "Wait, what?" Yep. Anyways,
So,
can't spoil.
So anyway, in case we didn't remind anybody, this is a Wheel of Time podcast.
Yeah.
Not a Game of Thrones MCU, but hey, this
is our show. We do what I want.
This is our show. We do what we want. Bill be damned.
That's right.
We are up to chapter 4, the Gleeman. So, Bill, why don't you? Damn it!
You did it. That's a strike for you, Rob.
Strike to me. Damn it! All right. So, Rich.
Yes.
What are your thoughts of this chapter?
All right, so let's kind of do a brief summary of this. It's kind of fun. So, like I told everybody, Tom Drill, Maryland, is the Gleeman. He shows up from the Wine Spring Inn and entertains Rat, Man, Perrin, and Egwine, and I can't always pronounce the name. Ewan, the little boy, and the villagers. So this is where we get to see this next character, the next main character of this series. But what happens during that time is you have Tom, Moraine, and Lane show up. Well, I'm sorry. I don't think... I don't think Tam shows up.
Well, Lan and Moraine aren't there yet. I guess at the end of the last chapter, Tom kind of bursts out onto the village square from the wine spray.
Yeah,
and he sees. Go ahead.
Listen, if you can imagine this whole series, imagine this scene playing out. You've kind of got a stage. You've got, people gathered around. The main purpose of a Gleeman, if nobody understands it, is an entertainer. Mm-hmm. They're juggling. They're playing music. They're doing things that are, entertaining. I would probably say they're sideshows, basically.
Vaudeville would be another good word to use.
Yeah.
So, I have a note here. I was going to pose the question to both you and Bill. We'll get his take on it when we next talk to him. But Rich, if you were a Gleeman, what would be your best talent?
I don't really have talents per se. Making fun of Bill, can't really
have an Abbott and Costello between the two of you.
Yeah, where he makes fun of my accent. I make fun of his. He says funny words. But no, the talent I don't really have a talent that's like entertaining. Now, I am developing a podcasting ability after doing this for an entire year. I've been told I got the voice for it.
Evansfield.
No, you can't just have somebody sitting in a booth somewhere and just say, you know what, come listen to me talk.
Yeah, come watch me talk.
I'll tell you about the issues that are going on in Emmons Field. You need to know these things. No. So, anyways, what talent would you have? Because I know you have voice acting.
Voice acting, I would say, I'm I'm not making any money off it, but it's a fun little side thing I do. But
we could throw stuff at Bill.
We could
Sorry, that was
definitely
just random. Team up on Bill. So, he's not here.
By the way, I did ask him his take on the Ghost Town prank, and he confided that when he was 6, he wanted to be a ghost and spilt flour
on himself.
On him, some got on him. Some got on the family cat. Cat was freaking out, running around the house, and as you and I predicted, he loved the Ghost Town prank because it made him think of himself as a child.
And now we know Bill tortured animals.
Yeah, God.
With flour. It's fine.
I mean, I
the
guess
cats I assume is good.
Yeah, yeah. I guess my guess. I mean, for lack of a better term, I would say storytelling.
Yeah,
I mean, we're a
I can see
podcast
that.
about one of the greatest stories told in the modern world. So, um,
I can see that. Yeah.
let me spin you a yarn.
Yes.
Come
Come here,
pull up
children.
pull up some chair and spin you a yarn, young man.
See,
So,
I would just want to tell scary stories like I could tell children. Like, just come here, children. I'm gonna scare shit out of you. You won't leave your house ever. Yeah.
no ghost house
Um.
though.
No. So after all that's going on, we have eventually, like we did talk about, Moraine and Lan do show up,
Mm-hmm.
and you do see some kind of tension with him and the Gleeman. There is a reason why that is, but that doesn't come on until later on. I want to say in book 2.
No, yeah, probably. Later on, there are every
There's
time
reasons.
every time Tom and Moraine are in the same room together, or in the same scene together, Robert Jordan always makes a notation that Tom is having information drawn out of him. He's trying to be very reserved and quiet, and
Mm-hmm.
not my thing. I don't like being around her, but I'm
Doesn't
taking
he
the high
tell?
road.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I can't. I don't remember if it's this chapter or a couple chapters later, and I don't want to spoil it. Unfortunately, guys, I'm going to spoil it. He does tell the boys, don't trust Moraine, or don't trust.
Is it Moraine or Aes Sedai as a whole?
No, it's don't trust Aes Sedai.
Okay.
That's right. Don't trust an Aes Sedai, and that's it. But I'm not going to tell why that is.
Mm-hmm,
We find that out much later on why. But there's a reason why these ladies are the way they are,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and they're a force to be reckoned with. And eventually, we do see those things happen, but it doesn't happen now.
Yep. At this point in the stories, the boys have no idea what to believe. Well, first of all,
Again,
they don't.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying they don't even know she's an Aes Sedai at this point. But
No.
they had in previous chapters they had no idea if they were good or bad or whatever. So they just they were in stories. They might not even really exist. They could be good. They could be bad. So everything was still kind of up in the air at this point.
Yeah, and what about and I can't remember in chapter 3 that you guys had discussed a little bit. Did they talk about Trollocs and things like that? Because Trollocs are more of a they're a mystery. Nobody knows about them. I mean, they do know about them. They hear stories, but they don't think they're real. Emmons Field, for everybody, needs to realize that Emmons Field is like in a very bottom backwoods countryside.
Trollocs was the term you used to scare the children.
Exactly.
You get to bed, or the Trollocs will come and snatch you in your sleep. That kind of thing.
Yeah, they were the boogeyman.
Exactly. Yep.
So, and we do hear the word Trolloc a couple times, so probably throughout, this couple chapters and stuff, but they're just meant for scare tactics.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
So, and kind of moving on a little bit too, you do end up seeing past this. You do see Nguyen, or how do you say that? No,
It's tricky. Moraine.
Moraine, and not Moraine and Lan. They're talking about stuff. The village council comes in, and they're talking to the merchant, Padon Fane.
Correct.
I do not like him. Like, right off the bat, you get this sense of this dude's kind of like, the equivalent of, hey, I've got some candy in my van. Do you want to come see it?
Yeah, you had to go dark, didn't you?
I did. That's the creepy factor I get from that. I just don't know why. I just don't. It's like, dude, don't touch me. Don't try to snatch me up. I'm just a little boy. But that's the thing. So they're trying to figure out. But this guy he's a merchant. He brings merchant goods to the village. He also brings news of what's happening. Most of the village in Emmons Fields gets their information from who? Padon Fane.
Padon Fane, because he's been around.
Yeah, he travels. There's no internet. There's no telephones. There's no anything that gets the information to these people. So imagine you're playing the telephone game as a child, and you're just hearing word of mouth from another word of mouth from another word of mouth. But the dude is super creepy. I imagine a guy with really messed up face with a really long nose.
That's one thing that they will go into. His very pronounced nose.
Yeah, just like a hook. It's like I really look like a criminal. Sorry.
Sorry, no, that's hey.
This is our show. We just do what we want. We just talk. So let me ask you, what did you think of the Gleeman? Like, what was your first reaction to him?
Well, I love the showmanship. I love the fact that he comes out, he bursts out of the wine break. He sees the crowd. He sees that there's a crowd. He's not officially supposed to start tomorrow until bell time officially kicks off. But he's
I forgot about that.
He's like, you know what? I'm going to give you guys a little preview, if you will, of what's to come. So just right off the bat, he starts juggling. And he's got Egwene as one of them, yelling out requests for stories. And he rattles off about 15 to 20 different stories that he knows. He knows all the stories from all ages. And as he's talking, he's adding somewhere, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth ball is in. He's juggling them now. He's juggling them in concentric circles. He's leaping around. He's doing all this stuff. And he just comes out swinging for the fences, and he hits on all accords. I love his entrance. And once again, knowing his full arc in this whole book, it's just so him, the way that he comes out. And I love it.
So we kind of talked about it. I'm looking at some of your notes of the outline that we're going through. You talked about, your opinion of why Tom stopped so suddenly once Moraine showed up. So we already kind of discussed that a little bit.
Yep.
The reason why I think he stopped is because, one, he knows who this person is.
Yes.
He's not stupid. He knows because he's been around.
Yep. There's ways, and Jordan will describe later on how Aes Sedai can be recognized from non-magical folk. There's certain ways to tell. So Tom knows this. He sees it, and immediately he's like, "Whoa, this isn't just the country folk. We got some real life happening in this sad town." So
yeah, and I mean another thing too. I mean, he's not expecting to see.
Did not. He even quotes and says, "You're not from this district, are you?"
Yep. So it makes you believe. It makes you think. Okay, so if you're not from this district, you're not here. Why are you here?
Yep.
Like what's your deal? Because nobody comes here.
Yep. What's going down? Because your presence makes me feel uneasy.
Yep. So Moraine and Lan, are there. They have a presence. There's another character that they meet who is kind of considered the elder, but not really the elder. What's her name again? I can't pronounce it.
You mean Nynaeve Al'Thara?
Nynaeve. Yes, Nynaeve.
The Village Wisdom is her title.
Is she like 20?
She is maybe, I think she's, and Bill can confirm it, I think she's mid to late 20s, maybe 25, 26-ish.
Okay.
She's very young for her station, but she's very qualified.
Yeah, and she carries that presence the entire book.
She owns it, yes.
Yeah, she's a force to be reckoned with herself. She is in charge of a lot of things in the village. Yep. So with that being said, you got to look at, okay, what is her main job? So the main job of Nynaeve is basically the village healer, medicine, political, like she does it all.
That
and she helps direct everything.
Meteorologist too is another one of her big
but
big jobs. She's supposed to let the men know when it's safe to plan for spring.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize this. The Jordan books put a lot of emphasis on the women.
Yes.
So which is great. You don't have that full blown character. I mean, full blown like this is all about men. And I'm not saying anything bad about the men. I'm just saying that this book series sure does have a main lead character who's a man, but the good is all the women.
Lots of good, strong female protagonists.
Yep, and that's why I think the world's kind of ready for this Wheel of Time podcast, but the show.
Yes,
because you have all those strong characters. Yeah, you're going to have the men that lead it, but you've also got, like I said, those very strong characters. Nynaeve is a very good one. Moraine's a very great one. It just goes. So the last piece of it is they're talking about the Dark Rider. Now, apparently, the boys aren't the only ones that have seen this thing.
Well, I think at this point it is Rand, then Matt, and then we find out that Perrin has seen it.
Yeah.
Perrin actually told Master Luhan at the blacksmith about it. Master Luhan didn't see it, but believed Perrin, and then all the rest of the day he walked around with his biggest hammer, just in case.
Yeah. Why does he believe him?
That's it. Yep, exactly. Why? Because even I think Rand mentions it to Tam, and Tam's take is, well, you wouldn't just tell me if you didn't think it was important. So something's going on.
And I love Tam. I think Tam is a great character. He's a great father figure to Rand. Has a good arc in the next book or two that I've seen.
Yep.
That's really going to put a lot of the readers that are following along with us in, kind of a good shock, I think.
Yes.
But, he doesn't seem like much now. He really doesn't.
It's a good foundation for Rand, because Rand respects the hell out of his dad.
Yep.
And as we'll find in the next couple chapters, there's going to be some shock in the next couple chapters regarding Tam as well.
I would say that's next chapter, maybe.
Yeah, maybe next chapter or two. Yes, I
Something
agree.
like that. Yep.
Yep.
So at the very end of it, they talk about that, the village elders. So, do you think the village council knows what's going on or who this person is?
See how I want to answer this. They know something's up. Now, as far as the three boys know, this, and as you mentioned, the Two Rivers is secluded, backwater town. They keep to themselves. They're very, leaning on each other for support. And Tales from the Outside is simply just that, Tales from the Outside.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the, Tam, Bran, the mayor, Master Luhan, they seem to be conversing with Podden Fane, and he brings news of war and all this other stuff. They seem to have an idea that stuff's about to happen that's not good. Stuff that the Two Rivers and Emmonsfield normally never see, but they seem to be preparing for something new and something bad.
Yeah.
That's the feeling I get.
I would agree with that. I mean, it's a little bit disconcerting as, let's say you're not in that know of the council and stuff like that. You see these prominent leaders in your town start to do some different things. You're like, well, it doesn't seem like it's going to be very good. So that puts in a perspective of what really is going to happen. Why isn't nobody doing anything? And why isn't nobody preparing? More spreading out that knowledge to okay, this is what we think is going to happen. So these are some of our precautions that we're going to do. It may be because they don't want to alert,
exactly. They're dancing a fine line between trying to be prepared and trying not to freak everybody out.
Yeah.
So,
but does it pay off in the end? We don't know.
No. Well, tune in next week.
Yes. So the last bit of this is Rand and Tam meet back up, and they decide. I mean, Tam lets Rand know that they're going back home for the night.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly. So they came, delivered their brandy, their cider. Got to see some new faces. Got to see a little bit of pregame entertainment from Master Gleeman. And Tam and Rand are going to have a nice, quiet night back home on the farm.
Yeah,
or so.
Seems like a pretty good, nice night.
Yes.
But okay, let me get this, dude, before we close out the chapter discussion of it. Do you or Bill imagine the setting of this whole world right now, kind of dark and gloomy kind of thing? Because when I was reading this and stuff, I felt that it was actually just doom and gloom kind of feel to it, like dark, not a lot of sun, maybe some overcast.
I my first reading, I'm going to agree with you. I think, though, on my second and then this recent third read through, like the first chapter or two, they leave their farm to go to Emmonsfield in the morning, and I think they get there by midday.
Yeah.
So, in my mind's eye, I had to start picturing this is the daytime, because my first read through it was at night in my mind, because of the setting of the Dark Rider right off the bat, and for some
Yeah.
reason the combination of the Dark Rider, well, they had to be going at nighttime. But
Okay.
now I can picture the Dark Rider in the morning, in outside with the light, and it now makes more sense because now it's more like afternoon. Rand thought they were going to stay the night, but Tam's like, "No, let's go home. We'll go home, have our father son time at home on the farm, and we'll come back for bell time tomorrow morning."
Okay. I guess I don't know why I think that, because from what I'm being told, at least in the reading piece of it, is, the harvest isn't the greatest. They're still doing things. But it's
Winter
not
still has a hold on the land.
Yeah. So that's why I'm getting that feeling that it's more of a doom and gloom kind of thing, because something's going on that the weather's not doing much.
Yep.
So, and it's supposed to be spring. They say it's supposed to be spring by now, but it hasn't.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I just want to get your take on that. I don't know if you guys discussed that kind of setting
we
or
didn't,
not.
but I'm with you. Like on my first read through, I assumed night, and I'll admit I assumed night. Then when I back through the second or third time, Jordan does mention that it was the morning, and they get there by noon, and it's midday, starting to get to dusk when Tam and Rand decide to hoof it back home.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it's time we move on to Readings with Rob.
Readings with Rob. And for this chapter, I took the passage of Tom Maryland's teaser performance out in the Emmonsfield Square. And I took that up until he is abruptly stopped by a couple extra onlookers that he wasn't expecting.
And now, the Taviren present to you Readings with Rob.
I suppose I had better give you a small sample, so you can run it to the others, eh? Just a taste of what you'll see tomorrow at your festival.
He took a step back, and suddenly leaped into the air, twisting and somersaulting to land facing them atop the old stone foundation. More than that, 3 balls, red, white, and black, began dancing between his hands even as he landed. A soft sound came from the watchers, half astonishment, half satisfaction. Even Rand forgot his irritation. He flashed Egwene a grin and got a delighted one in return. Then both turned to stare unabashedly at the Gleeman.
You want stories?
Tom Maryland declaimed.
I have stories, and I will give them to you. I will make them come alive before your eyes.
A blue ball joined the others from somewhere, then a green one, and a yellow.
Tales of great wars and great heroes, for the men and the boys. For the women and girls, the entire Aptaragine cycle. Tales of Arthur Pendrag Tenrial, Arthur Hawkwing, Arthur the High King, who once ruled all the lands from the Isle Wastes to the Arid Ocean, and even beyond. Wondrous stories of strange people in strange lands, of the Green Man, of Waters and Frolics, of Ogier and Isle, the 1,000 tales of Anla, the wise counselor, Jane the giant slayer, how Susa tamed Jane Farstrider, Mara and the 3 foolish kings.
Tell us about Lan,
Egwene called.
how he flew to the moon in the belly of an eagle made of fire. Tell us about his daughter Salia walking among the stars.
Rand looked at her out of the corner of his eye, but she seemed intent on the Gleeman. She had never liked stories about adventures and long journeys. Her favorites were always the funny ones, or stories about women outwitting people who were supposed to be smarter than everyone else. He was sure she had asked for tales about Len and Salia to put a burr under his shirt. Surely she could see the world outside was no place for Two Rivers folk. Listening to tales of adventures, even dreaming about them, was one thing. Having them take place around you would be something else again.
Old stories, those,
Tom Maryland said, and abruptly he was juggling 3 colored balls with each hand.
Stories from the age before the age of legends, some say. Perhaps even older. But I have all stories, mind you now, of ages that were and will be. Ages when men ruled the heavens and the stars, and ages when man roamed as brother to the animals. Ages of wonder, ages of horror, ages ended by the fire raining down from the skies. and ages doomed by snow and ice covering land and sea. I have all stories, and I will tell all stories. Tales of Mosk the Giant, with his lance of fire that could reach around the world, and his wars with Elsbeth, the queen of all. Tales of Madaris the Healer, mother of the wondrous Ind.
The balls now danced between Tom's hands in 2 intertwining circles. His voice was almost a chant, and he turned slowly as he spoke, as if surveying the onlookers to gauge his effect.
I will tell you of the end of the Age of Legends, of the dragon, and his attempt to free the Dark One into a world of men. I will tell you of the time of madness, where eye said eye shattered the world, of the Trolloc Wars, where men battled Trollocs for rule of the earth, of the War of the 100 Years, where men battled men, and the nations of our day were wrought. I will tell the adventures of men and women, rich and poor, great and small, proud and humble, the siege of the Pillars of the Sky, how good wife Kirill cured her husband of snoring, King Dareth and the fall of the House of...
Abruptly, the flow of words and the juggling alike stopped. Tom simply snatched the balls from air and stopped talking. Unnoticed by Rand, Ma Rain had joined the listeners. Land was at her shoulder, though he had to look twice to see the man. For a moment, Tom looked at Ma Rain sideways, his face and body still, except for the making of the balls disappear into the capacious coat sleeves. Then he bowed to her, holding his cloak wide.
Your pardon, but you are surely not from this district.
That was Readings with Rob. If there's a passage in an upcoming chapter you wish to have read on the podcast, simply tweet us at TavirenPod with your request.
And that was Readings with Rob. Hashtag Readings with Rob. Send me any requests if you'd like. So, Rich, when you get the chance to go through these pods, I need to get your honest opinion on some of these voices.
Okay.
So,
I actually need to do that tonight.
Some characters I try to go counterintuitive to what you think they may be. Some characters I'm taking kind of seriously. You will have noticed for Tom Maryland, I use what I called my Brooklyn accent. So, well,
Now, as you play him, do you think of Robert Downey Jr.?
I will now.
You're like, oh, crap. Just got to change it all up.
That would have been something if I tried to give a RDJ impersonation, but I went a little more fun and counterintuitive to what you would think, so I went with the Brooklyn accent. We'll see how that goes throughout the series.
All right, I got to give that a listen to.
Sure, I'd love to hear I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
So next week we have Chapter 5, Winter Night. And right here on my notes, I have it simply, shit gets real.
Yeah, I'm hoping all three of us can get together on that one because that's a really good, important chapter.
Yes.
That we need to talk about.
I'm putting my foot down, all three of us. That means Bill has to stay up till 1 a.m. So be it.
Agreed.
So, yes.
He owes me. The whole entire year of me getting up at the butt crack of dawn, he owes me. At least
you
one.
You hear it, Bill? The Americans are putting our foot down.
Yep. But yeah, that chapter, shit does get real. Shit hits the fan. Mm-hmm. It sets up what's happening. It sets up the entire book on what's now going to happen and what the reason things are happening. You're going to start seeing more of a hustle.
We are done setting up characters for this book. At least for the first part.
Yeah. But it's going to be
good.
It really will.
Or as Bill put it, it's awesome.
Dang it, Bill.
So that's all I got. What about you? What about you, Rich?
That's all I have too, guys. Appreciate everybody giving us the love and the support on this this new adventure that we're trying. Remember, guys, definitely, like we talked about at the beginning of the show, please show us more love by rating and reviewing the show on whatever your podcasting, media is, either iTunes, Google. I assume we're on Google. Are we?
I think so.
No?
Podbean, Stitcher, iTunes.
Okay.
Some of those.
iTunes is the main one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Leave us reviews on those guys. We want to know what your thoughts are. Where can they find us elsewhere?
Well, there's the Twitter at TavirenPod. Bill had teased the idea of potentially setting up a Discord, but nothing official has been done there.
And we may just merge that into. I think we talked about merging that just in with the RPG one.
Maybe.
But we could probably do better splitting them off.
Yeah, I mean, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. There's a few other ideas that I think Bill has pitched to us that we might want to get a couple months under our belts, then kind of maybe premiere a few other locales to get access to us.
Sounds good. Did we get the Patreon set up?
Shh. Spoilers.
Sorry, we did not do that. My bad.
I would like to let the record show, Bill, that was Rich.
Hold on, you can edit that out. Just go back 5 seconds, and I can redo that. All right, so that is where they can find us on Twitter.
Yes.
Edit.
Done. All right. Guys, thanks again. Echoing what Rich said, thanks again for all the love. We are just floored with how much we're receiving, and we just want to try and give you the best product we can. The way I try to think about it, we may not be the most informative. There's other sites and other podcasts that may have more information. We are fans of the series, but there are definitely others out there that are more fanatical. We just want to give you the most entertaining take on this series because it deserves it. That's basically it. Damn it, it deserves it.
I agree. It does. We're just doing this for fun, guys. Don't nail us to the wall if we get something wrong. You're more than welcome to correct us or join in the conversation.
Do you want to? Yeah, exactly. Join the conversation. We'd love it.
But you can find me at HailBlue1569 if you want to talk to me personally.
All right. Well, without further ado, that's about it for this episode. Rich, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's good times.
All right.
We're missing Bill. We'll see you guys next time.
And we will, guys, see you at the Wine Spring Inn. Take care, guys. Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you want to continue the conversation, tap into the One Power and contact us on Twitter at TavirenPod. You can also contact Bill at Matunica and Rich at HailBlue1569. You can also reach Rob at his website, diggingdeepsports.com, And, as always, we will see you at the Wine Spring Inn.
Here's to another great podcast, gentlemen. Cheers! Ah, damn it, Bill, not again! Brad, can you get another round of pints for me and the boys? Yes, again. No, Bill this time. Thank you, Brad, much appreciated. Now, where were we, men? Actually, I believe it's Rich's turn at the Stones table. What's that you say? No, I don't think old Sen will have that, Rich.
This has been a presentation
of the We Can Make This Work
Probably Network.
Follow us on Twitter
at Probably Work for more of our questionable content.
Also, we have a website called probablywork.com.